Ladies and gentlemen, they don't waste any time. Mr. Toxi, mind games. Lemes was anticipating Lemes, and there was no Lemes. That was creeping the map. Orc threw a curveball. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to map number 2. Knoff is grabby, Mr. Blasco. Knoff is not grabby, but Lemes is SaulApeMan, ladies and gentlemen. In some universe, Lemes is SaulApeMan. Ladies and gentlemen, 1-0. 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the second map of Makrura Cup 1. My name is SaulApeMan, and it's the first show match that I'm organizing. Of course, it wouldn't be possible for me to organize this show match without Mr. Knoff, without Mr. Lemes. Very friendly players. They said, Saul, nice idea, we would like to play versus each other, and I would like to thank, of course, the community around SaulApeMan Twitch for huge donations, for the support. And ladies and gentlemen, so from time to time they can play on ladder, but now they have a motivation to play on ladder, to show the community, to show all of you how grande, how beautiful Warcraft can be, especially if you have exotic strategies. Of course you may say, Saul, Pala Rifle good, Pala Rifle bad, doesn't matter. You saw how close this game was, how much innovation there was in Professor Lemes' gameplay. He got tier 3, he was using his MK, he was making freaking polymorph, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. For so far, so good. Farseer. Farseer for Mr. Knoff. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Riza wrote, Pala Rifle University may have been a bad idea in retrospect. Now everyone knows the counter. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a beautiful game. Beautiful game. It's going to be a very similar game, I think. But maybe Professor Lemes is going to try maybe to push faster. Maybe to go to tier 3 faster. Maybe to creep instead of pushing. I don't know. I can't win versus Knoff. But ladies and gentlemen, Professor Lemes can. Professor Lemes can. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I think you don't... Early game was a little bit off for Professor Lemes. Now Professor Lemes is going into the Farseer direction. This is what I like to do. Don't pull Professor Lemes, I beg you. Or maybe pull the ensnare from the Murloc will go to the Wolf. Or maybe not. Be careful. Everybody knows Bucky Murloc. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we can see, trading versus Wolves is annoying, and Professor Lemes with experience. Grande Lemes, that's what Professor Lemes needed. He got 2 Wolves. He got 2 Wolves. Pala Rifle players around the world are basically celebrating this. The Wolf donation, maybe Mr. Knoff felt too confident. He's like, oh, this Pala Rifle strategy, they will just make tier 3 Sorks and I will just creep. And he was thinking how to execute this while Lemes was busy killing his wolves, and Lemes got experience and Knoff has 0 experience. Professor Lemes taking already. Professor Lemes is ready. Go Lemes, they are going to dance left and right. Professor Lemes in his enrage mode. And remember, the map they played, the Secret Valley, this map had freaking Fountain of Healing, and Mr. Knoff, as an experienced orc, he knows how to use Fountain of Healing. But ladies and gentlemen, Professor Lemes this time is safe for the free healing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. What's now? They are dancing, left and right. Left and right, ladies and gentlemen. Left and right dancing. Where are the Pala Rifle players on Twitch chat cheering for Professor Lemes? In my head. In my head, probably. Okay, I would be scared now. I would be scared, Professor. But Professor is like, I have 4 rifles. I should not be scared. They are just dancing left and right, moving every single unit. This is Professor Lemes in his final form. And I'm proud to cast this game. And I hope you are going to enjoy this. Ladies and gentlemen, how Professor Lemes is going to make this game different. He crept with militia. He crept with militia. Look at the experience. Professor Lemes is almost level 2. He will get the item. Item is Gloves of Haste. Not good, not terrible. And ladies and gentlemen, look how fast Orc can creep. This camp is disappearing. and Professor Lemes with the creep jack, but this creep jack is kinda going to backfire. Kill the wolf, one more wolf, and Professor Lemes will unlock level 2. Level 2 Grande Lemes, the aura. This beautiful aura, the aura of being confident. Lemes is confident, and the last hit on the Murloc Huntsman went to Lemes as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But what Professor Lemes is going to do now? What Professor Lemes is going to do now? Don't fight maybe Lemes. He has the aura, but Orc has mana. Orc has damage. Ladies and gentlemen, hello Mr. Length Orc. Yes, Lemes is very confident in this game. He's even blocking. Look at this amount of damage that he's inflicting, that he's dealing to the headhunters. Look at this. Look at this, but the replenishment potion, this abomination. Mr. Fortitude has the habit of making Arcane Vault in his base. I don't know, it's going to be the base. Yes, the farm was a little bit, forgotten, but the Blood Mage will start soon. We have enough lumber. Ladies and gentlemen, look at Orc. Close your eyes. Look what this Orc can do. Wand of the Wind. Ladies and gentlemen, when Professor Lemes can I'm talking in English, Mr. Zelemer, but yes, if you are talking about the Polish meaning, no. Professor Lemes is nie jest konfasem. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Lemes is cool, Professor Lemes is enraged, Professor Lemes is ready. Level 3 acquired. Do we have a base wall of? Or maybe we're just going to fight. Maybe Professor is going to do the Oli timing, the sharp timing. Let's see about that. Polish language lessons. Mr. Toxi, I hope you are going to go to Raralan and we can share the room and I can tell you more about the interesting Polish words. French words that are very similar to Polish words, but they have different meaning. We can talk about this topic for 3 hours, Kappa. Sacre bleu. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what can happen now? We have, no, we have Wand of Wind. I'm afraid. Lemes, teleport out. Lemes, don't make mistake as you did in the previous game. What is Knoff doing in this, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening here? We have the pool. Professor Lemes wants to get the middle. He needs some time to transfer mana to his paladin. Professor Lemes this time is making pure rifles, maybe overcomplicating the pala rifle strategy. Was Professor Lemes' mistake? Professor Lemes is grande. Mr. Knoff is losing his composure. His headhunters are getting hurt. Professor Lemes is getting control of the middle. I can't believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Lemes is back. Professor Lemes is so back. This expansion is not even in the making. Flute, grande flute. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, you may say, where are the Pala Rifle fans? Pala Rifle fans are on this stream. In the streamer, because when I see flute, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. Professor Lemes with a good item drop, Professor Lemes with a good mid control, and Professor Lemes is going tier 3. Professor Lemes is going tier 3. Mr. Size, on the top right, you have best of 7 and it's 0-1 for Knoff. Game number 2 in progress. Professor Lemes is scouting with 2 rifles. Professor Lemes is getting more and more in control. More and more in control. No problem, Mr. Size is not very nice graphic, but it is what it is. Welcome to the stream. Let's enjoy this game together. What is happening here? Professor Lemes has long rifles. We all know how good Professor Lemes is with his long rifles. You don't have any time. Professor Lemes is surrounding this orc. He's surrounding this orc, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to push this expansion. And he's going to cancel this expansion, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, Professor Lemes is investing into tier 3 technology. And ladies and gentlemen, the Knoff is trying to buy a little bit of a time. Maybe the Knoff will think that Professor Lemes will forget about something like expansion. And maybe Professor Lemes will. We'll see about that. For now, are we going to fight? Maybe Knoff wants to force Lemek back. The Blood Mage! The Blood Mage is in trouble. We have Wand of the Wind. Blood Mage, can you survive? Invul! Holy light from the trees! Holy light from the trees! Professor Lemes, can you save? Another Wand of Wind, but Invul! Knoff didn't steal the Invul, Grande Lemes! Knoff is breaking! Knoff is breaking under pressure! Grande Processor! Professor Lemes, ladies and gentlemen, from the trees, this spot on the Northern Isles will be called Professor Lemes Corner. For the infinity, this corner will be well known as Professor Lemes Corner. The orc was fighting hard to protect the expansion, and maybe he lost a lot, but expansion was protected. But ladies and gentlemen, you can't stop tier 3 Professor Lemes. Professor Lemes is just spamming the Sorg upgrades. Professor Lemes is pushing, but he's not pushing for real. He's just pushing, you know, to force some healing, to force some units, to cancel some healing, and so on. Maybe to kill the shop. He already forced the speed scroll. But ladies and gentlemen, expansion is more operational. Mr. Knoff left 1 grand in order to protect this expansion from like single riflemen. Single rifles in your neighborhood. Be careful. Better protect them with grants. Ladies and gentlemen, expansion is going down and Lemes is going up. Expansion is going down, Lemes is going up. And Lemes with tier 2, Lemes with Sorg Master, Lemes with very greedy. Very greedy build. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Is Knoff going to fight? He's making Kodobis, he wants to fight, but ladies and gentlemen, there is intent to fight, but can he really? Can he really fight this? We'll see about that. Professor Lemes with the power of the flute will just snipe the expo, and Professor Lemes is more than welcome to just go back from it. That piercing damage versus fortified armor is not great, but in hands of Professor Lemes everything works. I'm a little bit scared of the paladin, but no, Professor Lemes has everything. Scroll of the beast on the orc. Orc wants to fight really hard, but Professor Lemes is like, you think that you are going to push me back? Your Kodos are dead, my Paladin got level 4, and I have tier 3 spike anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, Masterclass. Masterclass by Professor Lemes. The score is even.